Hey guys, welcome to Unpack. Today we have the Steam controller. I very rarely ever spend my own money to buy something to review, but I think that the Steam controller is definitely one of those times where I should. But should you get one? Does it replace a controller? Or even a keyboard and mouse? Let's find out. First off, let's go over what comes in the box. Obviously, we have the controller. Underneath that, we have the wireless USB dongle, two AA batteries, and underneath that, we have some documentation, a micro USB cable, and a dock for the wireless dongle if you can't reach your PC from where you sit at, like me, at my desk. And my PC is like super underneath my chair area where I can't reach. Moving on to the controller itself, it has a matte and glossy finish, or what I like to call glossy in all the right places. Because where it is glossy, fingerprints don't usually come into contact in those areas. From left to right, you have the left touchpad and analog stick, the back button, Steam button, start button, XYAB, and the right touchpad. On the shoulders, we have the left and right shoulder buttons, along with the left and right dual stage triggers and a micro USB port in the middle. Finally, if you flip the controller over, we see the battery cover with integrated left and right finger paddles, or what they're calling grips. I actually really like this design. And taking off the cover, we have the battery compartment with battery ejectors, which is also another nice feature that I like. Now, at first glance, the Steam controller does look a bit weird compared to traditional controllers, no doubt, but when you pick it up, it's actually quite ergonomic. The controller is made with plastics to make it lightweight, but the trade-off there is that it can feel a little bit cheap. Onto the experience with the controller. Log into Steam and plug in the wireless dongle. Once the controller is detected, Steam will tell you to run in big picture mode, assuming that you are using Windows and not SteamOS, because obviously that will all be different. From here, it's fairly straightforward. Pick a game and play. Now, certain games will come with a warning that the game wasn't intended to be played with a controller and that it will require further configuration. Don't worry, folks. Steam offers default layouts and layouts created by the community that you can browse. Now, some games will have more layouts than others. It all depends on how popular the game is. Make no mistake, it will take some time to get used to playing with the controller. Even if you're fairly familiar with console controllers, the Steam controller takes what you know and throws it out the window. Now for me, it took about a full business day to get used to the touchpads, and by no means was I 360 no-scoping noobs on CSGO. But then again, I was playing with bots to acclimate myself with the controller. Don't judge me, so what if I was playing with bots on easy? For FPSs, the controller is adequate. Like I said, it does take some time to get used to using the right touchpad as a replacement for your mouse movement. Other game types like top-down shooters or Metal Slug type side-scrollers, the controller is perfect. I don't recommend using the Steam controller with real-time strategy games like StarCraft though. Now to be honest, my micro and macro skills with a keyboard and mouse aren't that good to begin with, so when you add in the Steam controller, it was kind of like learning how to walk all over again. Now for racing games, the controller does as expected. One piece of advice I'd like to give you guys for racing games is to try not to bind keys to the grip paddles, or if you do, bind them to keys that make sense. With my experience, I was racing in Grid 2 and I've bound the E-brake to the right grip. Now after a few races, I found that my right hand was fatiguing a little bit because I was holding the controller in a weird way not to accidentally press the right grip. The reason was because since I bound it to E-brake, and if I gripped it the wrong way, I'd activate the E-brake, thus going to a power slide unintentionally. So I had to consciously remember to hold it in a certain way, and that made my hand start to cramp up. Some really cool features that I liked were the typing experience. Using both touchpads as a way of navigating a keyboard was pretty fun. The Steam controller also has motion sensors as well. Anthony Key showed me a video of how to get the right touchpad click to enable motion aiming, which again did take some time to get used to, but your mileage may vary, but that made headshots seem to be easier to execute. And the battery life has been amazing as well. The two included AA batteries have lasted me about a week and a half now, and the controller is set to get at least 80 hours of use with those two batteries. So not bad. Now the Steam controller isn't perfect. I found that the XYAB buttons to be placed a bit further in on the controller than what I'm used to, and that's to be expected since the right touchpad takes a larger portion of the area on the controller. So expect to mash the wrong buttons when you first start off. Other than that, I would say that the learning curve of rebinding keys can be a bit daunting at first. There's just so many options to configure and test out. I mean, it's not really a bad thing, but just keep that in mind. Now the real question, will this replace a controller? Yes and no. If you're used to playing PC games with something like an Xbox 360 controller, then I wouldn't really recommend getting one. However, if you've never tried a controller experience on PC before, then the Steam controller is definitely something worth checking out. Now, should you retire your keyboard and mouse for the Steam controller? No. I mean, let's be real. There's just nothing like gaming on a mechanical keyboard and mouse. That experience can't be replaced with the Steam controller, or any controller for that matter. So there you have it, guys. The Steam controller is an overall great controller with a few quirks, and it has deep levels of customization. Now, I did pre-order mine from my local EB Games, and it was $59.99. I mainly got it because I was curious, but I'm really glad I did so. But if you didn't pre-order, the controller should hit stores sometime in November. But leave a comment down below, let us know what you thought of the Steam controller, and if you have one, or if you don't, if you plan on getting one, or if you much rather just stick to keyboard and mouse. Click over here if you want to check out our previous videos, and check us out over here on social media. Social media. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this from NCIX. We'll see you later.